lot going on over the past few days, but two major things. One happening here on our soil, and one not happening on our soil, but so incredible.
And I'm here for it.
But let's start with here in our homeland.
My goodness.
The director of FEMA apparently was joking, but during a meeting said that he was not aware that there was a hurricane season in the United States.
How are these people getting jobs and how are they just moving through life? How do you not know? There's an official hurricane season.
I mean, he's claiming, a spokesman is claiming that he was just joking. I'm
He wasn't
sorry, I
joking.
didn't realize that we joke about, natural disasters.
He wasn't joking. He just didn't want his stupidity on full display, even though it already is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's trying to say that his military service gives him some experience in emergency management. However, he has no disaster relief emergency management experience. And yet he's leading FEMA.
His money gave him the experience and his mediocrity got him there. Because let's be clear, these people get appointed based on their level of mediocrity. And it's heavy on the mediocrity, by the way, in case we didn't know. It's heavy on that. Yeah. Heavy on that. Low on the competence and experience to do the job.
Yeah. He's a DEI hire if there ever was one. I find the timing of all of this kind of suspect because back in the middle of May when there were all those storms and we have a number of states waiting on disaster relief, the federal government was like, we are overhauling FEMA. We're overhauling FEMA. We'll have it's giving infrastructure week from Trump 1.0 all over again. We're going to have it. We have something much better coming. And now all of the sudden, within the last couple of days, when they were supposed to have something by May 23rd, we're not going to change anything. But so it sounded like they were using the excuse of they were revamping FEMA as to why there was a delay in disaster relief. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden, like I said, it's giving infrastructure vibes. We waited for that for a million years and never got it. Same thing with healthcare. But does that seem a little fishy to you?
Super fishy. These folks out in Kentucky who hadn't even gotten over the first set of floods, and now their land has been flattened and all kinds of other things. The folks in Mississippi and the folks in the plains area.
Josh Hawley is even calling them out during hearings. I'm
Still
sorry
right.
if that sissy who runs like a sissy girl, I saw you, Holly, January 6th. But if he is going to do this and call out these people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, FEMA, and I want to know where the calls are. People were screaming in Asheville about FEMA. FEMA wasn't on the ground when FEMA was on the ground, and FEMA wasn't allowed into some places. But, and I know some folks in Kentucky particularly have called out that they have not heard from the Trump administration, nothing. And I'm like, where are these people need help? They don't even have basic necessities. Necessities.
I can tell you Kentucky's issue, Bashir.
Democratic governor.
Yeah, who is awesome and well-liked, even in a state like Kentucky.
But, again, and this is one of my issues, it doesn't matter the United States. So whether you're a blue or a red president, and it doesn't matter what the state is or who leads the state, you need to be taking care of the people.
There are people that voted for you. We don't know why, but there are.
There are. There absolutely are. And
you're turning your back on them.
Nobody's getting help. Nobody's getting help. And we've started true natural disaster season, which is hurricane season.
Yeah, that started Sunday.
And it's going to go through November. And, they've talked about, we've used all the names. I forget, it's several times out of, let's say, the last 15 years. We've used all the names on the hurricane list several times out of the last 15 years. And so, in a time period where climate change is real, and chances are there's a good chance this season we may go through those names, and hurricanes and bomb cyclones are hitting places you would not expect. Hello, Asheville, super inland.
Pretty sure we had a little tornado go through. I mean, it took down 6 or 7 giant telephone poles just in central Pennsylvania.
There was a hurricane that hit a community about 10 miles or so from me. There was like an actor who lost his home and his son was thrown from their house. His son is like in ICU and the dad went to the hospital but was released. But his son was thrown several hundred feet from the house. Not they were in a car. The like teenager was in his home. And the home got flattened and he got thrown out. And the neighbors had to help the dad find the son.
Oh my God, that's heartbreaking.
It is, but it happened 10 miles from here, a tornado. And when the dad did a TikTok. And when you look around the neighborhood, other houses are still standing. So picking and choosing. Climate change is real.
Also, for the record, if you have a tornado or even probably like a hurricane, it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. If you have children, especially, please put their bike helmets on their head. Okay, that'll help.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
I never thought
I
about
learned
that.
that from a very dear friend of mine who grew up in Texas. Yeah. So
Wow.
she told me about that one of the first times we had an actual tornado warning where I saw this guy doing scary things. Like I was FaceTiming with her and she was like, you need to go to the basement and please grab Sloane's helmet and put it on her head because it will protect her noggin. If something like falls on it or whatever, it protects her noggin. So, hot tip.
So should we all own bike helmets?
I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt,
So
but
should I go get me a bike helmet?
yeah, let's do it. Are you going to be able to fit it under the braids
I have to
or
get
over the
one
braids?
like bigger.
Yeah,
Get one bigger because
they look good though.
thanks. But yeah, so I'm concerned about we're entering huge natural disaster season where tornadoes, rainstorms, bomb cyclones, hurricanes, and they're hitting places they've never quite hit before. And so, yeah, and we have a disaster agency that is understaffed, led by someone with minimal competence, and we're entering the most dangerous season. And losses continue to mount.
Yeah, so great. Speaking of losses mounting, Ukraine.
Baby, Zelensky said Ukrainians mount up. Let's go. Let's get them. Let's get them. Let's get them. Get them. Get them.
Okay, so do we care about his suit now? Because dude is okay. Trump loves to be like all the Trumpers and everything love to be like, he's playing 5D chess. Just wait. No, you know who's playing 5D chess? Zelensky, because that was the long game.
Maybe they did a little Trojan horse action and said, let me sit this on top of some trucks and let's just ride on into Russia.
So, friends, if you're unaware, what was on top they were like crates open.
They looked like I think they were little houses. They said
Tops, the roofs opened up, and there were 100 little sky gremlins, little drones that all and went all over Russia and just
pew, 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 pew. Baby, Russia wasn't ready. They were not ready.
What they need to like drop big bad things on other countries.
Putin has got to be hot to death, baby. He's so angry right now.
He's probably in his bunker just like,
is so angry right now. But look, I love that for Ukraine.
I do too.
I love that for them.
I do too, because the other thing, it's at least as far as I'm aware, it was very calculated, very targeted. It didn't include like a massive amount of civilian casualties. Like this was smart, thought out, badass warfare.
It is. It was. And he definitely played chess, not checkers. And it was pretty successful. I think they said Russia, a couple things didn't get, like couple intended targets didn't quite get hit. But on the whole, I think Russia was caught very unaware. I think they totally underestimated Zelensky in Ukraine. and the ingenuity and all that came with that.
And suddenly I'm like, maybe there is something to an actor, a smart actor being president because it was something out of a movie, right? Like
Yeah,
this
but
was like, what is it? The Thomas Crown Affair style, like shit. Like it was
I think he
brilliant.
proved prior to all of this that he was a diplomat. Well, but look, we, we had Reagan.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it kind of came in handy, right? Because, like,
Hmm.
this is truly something like out of a movie and
Hmm.
it worked.
It did. It worked like a charm. Like that was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like so, so good.
Like, when I saw the little, like, picture with all the drones lined up, like,
Hmm.
waiting,
Hmm.
and I could just imagine them, especially now that I am flying drones. I could just picture because they looked like kind of like mine, obviously much more badass, but like just a whole ton of them just
Yep. Ready to pew, 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 pew. Ready to go. Like, let's go.
and some of them were like really far away from where they started.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Putin, not sorry. I know I shouldn't be this excited about it, but it was just so like it was brilliant and
I love seeing Ukraine win.
yeah,
Listen, Ukraine is the underdog. Russia
yeah,
is the evil empire, right? Their big bad brother. Definitely don't want to see them spreading their toxicity across the world and
right.
annexing any more countries because bad things will happen. But I love it for Ukraine. I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, and there's someone much smarter than me, Professor Scott Galloway. I've heard him speak on peace in the Middle East. He was talking about the difference. He believes that bad peace is worse than a bad war, right? So, like, basically there needs to be a winner in order for because like if it's bad peace, he was talking about this in the Middle East, but I believe that it kind of like transitions over to the situation with Ukraine and Russia, because if there's some bitch ass deal where no one's happy, it's not gonna be long term, right? So like we almost like need a winner, and if it takes this that kind of stuff, that's what it takes. Because
Mhm,
he also made me think of something kind of like when it comes to Israel and their reaction to October 7th, we are all, I mean, I'm up in our, like, it's awful, right?
mhm.
But he reminded me that what we did to the Japanese, right? Like, it's war, it sucks, but we
There will
need a
be
winner.
casualties.
Yeah. And so, like, this was a really smart long term plan. It had minimal, if any, civilian casualties. I'm not sure. But
Yeah, it's tactical.
yeah, so kudos to you.
Some fireworks. See, yay! Cheers to Ukraine.
So good. There we go. Yay.
Cheers to Ukraine for one upping. We know this isn't over and it's just one little battle that they won because the war is still being fought and it's years long at this point.
Wonder, is there a round two that we just don't know?
You do have to wonder. And prayerfully there is. Surely they didn't think they were, well, I know they didn't think they were one and done, but so hopefully there will be.
Putin's probably in his bunker, like, we must find the others. Like, like, there must be more. That's the best I can do for a Russian accent. And
He's
I guess it's
upset.
like, what, like evening there. So he might be drinking, and actually, does
I'm
he?
sure he's drinking a lot
Yeah.
because that probably sent him, baby. That sent him for a loop.
Yeah. Like a percentage of your
Mhm.
large
Mhm.
military
Mhm.
budget. Could have happened to him. Excuse me. But yeah. And then, just to kind of, just a little fun, the wannabe dictator got his new presidential portrait and it was hung in the White House because, he hated the first one and didn't feel like it looked like him. And yeah, it's just like his mugshot, basically. It's that grumpy picture of him where he's like,
He apparently likes to look menacing,
yeah, his hair still looks thin.
for whatever the reason. I mean, it's a comb over, for God's sake. He has no hair.
Yeah, but I think
Like a
he's losing more to comb over and like, yeah. But it's just a black background. If you want to see it, it's up on the White House Instagram in a stupid little, yeah. And apparently he's pleased.
I mean, he's pleased. Yeah, like He like it, I don't like it. She'll like, he like it, I love it. No, he like it, I don't like it.
Yeah, right. I mean, the artist did a lovely job. However,
he's a bowl of crazy.
Yeah.
Bowl of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that just is what it is.
Yeah. And Musk is like the little leprechaun chasing after behind him.
He need to go. Isn't he already back at Tesla or SpaceX? He needs to figure out how to keep them rockets from disintegrating every time they decide they want to put one up in the air. That's what he need to be worried about.
Well, and maybe Voldemort's wife can help since she left the administration to go work at Tesla.
Look, hold your breath.
Yeah, right.
Wait on it.
I'm now waiting, though, for Musk to impregnate her. That'll be fun. I just want to see Voldemort lose it.
Well, he's going to lose it before it's all said and done. I have faith. I have hope.
Yeah. Well, friends.
Until next time.
Yeah. And it's about to get a little wild because people are, it's summer. We're going on vacations. We've got trips planned. We've got all the things. So bear with us. We'll get content out to you when we can and with whom we can do it with.
Absolutely. We're going to still try to make it happen.
Yeah.
Around here.
So have a great week. We'll see you on Friday.
See you Friday.
And remember to stay loud, stay opinionated, and...
Baby, don't forget to add us later. Add us later.
That's a wrap on this episode of At Me Later. We drop new bite-sized episodes packed with news and sass every Tuesday and Friday. So make sure you're following us wherever you get your podcasts. And because we love validation, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review, and drop a comment to let us know what you think. It helps us more than you know. At Me Later is an A Collective production, and we'll be back in your ears soon. But until then, stay loud, stay opinionated, and as always, at us later.
She's gonna beat me. Why? It's because I was making fun of Stacy. There we go.
You lead, I'll follow.
Where you lead, I will follow anywhere. Gotta love it.
Go.
Gotta love Gilmore Girls. Okay, we've been marked.
Never watched it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's cute. Okay. Because I was going, these two.
Can I get the balloons? Normally, I do get the balloons every now and again.
See, I get them so easy. There we go, Monica. We'll make sure this is in the
Finally.
update so that she knows.
Finally get the fireworks.
Still don't know how I did.
Okay, so what are we talking about? And in what order? We're talking about FEMA.
FEMA, Ukraine.
That might be enough.
I think that's going to be enough.